Big up, everybody! It's your boy Mark and MUFC fan, guys. Sorry I'm late. I had to reset. The router had a major update today, and I had to reset it a second time. I didn't know, so I just got it working. Everything is good. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. Big up to all of you coming in the chat. Ruben Amorim, the man that Manchester United wants, and who is he, guys? Who is Ruben Amorim? A lot of us don't really watch the Portuguese Liga, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. I know some of us might have heard about him and seen good things, seen great highlights, great compilations. But I was just thinking, since he's possibly the next manager with an imminent appointment, seemingly in the next 24 to 48 hours, possible announcement before Chelsea, let's talk about it. Let me give you some information. I did a little bit of research. I put together some slides with some little images that will explain what it is I'm actually going to say. Guys, take it in. Let me know what you're thinking. And when we're back this evening, 8:30 UK, for the match preview against Leicester tomorrow in the Carabao Cup, we can talk more about Ruben Amorim as well. Big up to you, Kenny Fan TV. He says the era starts today. Maybe 24 hours, buddy. If Amorim starts favoring Bruno, then Amorim out, Dark Crow. He's Portuguese, so is Bruno. Bruno is an 8. He plays with 2 8s. It's highly likely. It's a similar 3-1-6 style formation, guys, so strap in because you're going to find it really interesting what I'm about to tell you. Yeah, GB, 100%. Big up to Ramek Buji. Big up to you, my brother GB. Big up to Lucky Singh as well. And big up my brother Elite Baller. Elite Baller? I'm sorry, bro, but I think you, of all people, should not want him. Because Ruben is going to disappoint you big time, buddy. Ruben Amorim, style of play, and what's he about? So let's get into this, guys. Ruben Amorim, this has been classed as tactically flexible. He bases it on the opponent, particularly in Europe. He always considers the weaknesses of his opponents, described by one of some people very close to him in Fonseca. He plays a high defensive line most of the time and is good on transitions. It is still a positive game idea based around ball possession. Ruben Amorim, currently Sporting CP head coach, he has garnered attention for his modernized, flexible tactical philosophy and impressive success with the Portuguese team in the Portuguese Liga. With a unique blend of pressing, ball control, and player development, Amorim's coaching style could offer both solutions and challenges for a club like Manchester United, guys. Here's a little bit of analysis that I wrote about. I was doing some research, and I was just wanted to bring it in contrast because I think it's going to be a good thing moving. The style of the manager we move to is possibly very similar, but the key is the man himself. He might be a little bit more flexible. Who knows? And GB, bro, we'll talk about that. I see you, bro. I see you, Ray Carl Brown. Big up to you, my brother. You know what I mean? So the philosophy, the style of play, pros and cons, and an examination of how his approach might impact Manchester United. And I'll give you some examples as well. As you can see, the slide is up there. So this is what we've been saying about Ruben Amorim. You know what I mean? Preferred style is a 3-4-3 to a 5-2-3. Defend and press in a back 5. Builds up using the half space and overloads. Possession-based side, average 59% possession. High tendency to cross in the finishing phase. Wing backs cross often. Use of counter pressing. Narrow front 3. Create vertical passing options. Fluidity when pressing, and if the CM presses for the ball, the forward covers. This is a little bit of a brief description. So here's a little bit of a graph that's going to show you guys, a bit of how the base looks. In the first picture to the extreme, I believe it would be your right, but it's my left. So it's the 3-4-3 base, and that's how it's going to look in the settle. right? And when we start building up, it's going to shift into a 4-2-2-2 deep build up. As you can see, the arrows of movement, the CB passing it goes in this direction, and sometimes the ball is played back to the left attacking midfielder, who then restarts the process in a slightly different way as they rotate forward. You know what I mean? If you look at the 3-3-1 settle shape, and this is when when they are in attack, you can see it now. This is one of the transitions here and how we shape up with, as you can see, the midfielders, the attacking midfielders, they are there on the width. The wing backs are getting ready to push forward. You will see a lot of bombing forward with them. It's going to be very interesting. Now, here's some pros on the tactical philosophy of Ruben Amorim. Amorim's philosophy is built on the principles of flexibility, aggressive pressing, and well-drilled defensive structure. His system revolves around positional play, ensuring that players maintain the discipline of their positioning, allowing for efficient ball circulation and defensive solidity. High pressing and transition focused. Amorim emphasizes on pressing high up the pitch with immediate defensive reactions upon losing possession. Ball retention with progressive build-up. His teams often play out from the back with an emphasis on creating a numerical superiority in specific zones. Player development. Amorim's focus on youth players has particularly been evident at Sporting, where he has developed talents who thrive in high pressure scenarios and a structured system. This philosophy aligns with the adaptable, possession oriented team that does not compromise on defensive solidity. The style of play is a preferred 3-4-3, sometimes a 3-4-2-1, if you want to get technical, guys, which relies heavily on the wing backs to provide the width and advanced midfielders to control the central zones, right? This, with the wide overloads, the wing backs pushing high, wide areas are overloaded, allowing for effective crossing and cutback opportunities. The vertical compactness, the midfield and forwards operate closely to facilitate quick short passing sequences, creating central overloads. Rotations. His team often features rotating positions to disorganize the opposition, with the players moving seamlessly between the lines. Now, this is quite similar to Ten Hag, although our players have not shown the intelligence to actually master this trait so far. But, a different coach, different ideals might get that going. The aggressive pressing is his defensive approach. Amorim's teams press high with an emphasis on cutting off passing lanes, particularly in the wide areas. A compact defensive shape when out of possession, Amorim's team drop back into a 5-2-3 or a 5-4-1, maintaining compactness in the middle and forcing opponents wide. A quick recovery and transition of players are trained to instantly counter press after losing possession, preventing the opposition from establishing a counter attack. A pro of this approach. His disciplined structure. Teams are difficult to break down because of their disciplined, compact structure and zonal marking. Defensive solidity and transition play. With Amorim's emphasis on counter pressing and quick transitions, United could become more balanced and difficult to counter. At Manchester United, the focus is the youth, so this is also a pro for Amorim because he also focuses on the youth, and I think it would be bode well in keeping with the traditions of the club. His flexible system 3-4-3 allows for adjustments to counter specific oppositional tactics, which is essential in a competitive league like the Premier League. The cons of this approach: the adaptability of Manchester United current squad. The squad may lack players familiar with Amorim's 3-4-3 system, especially in the wing-back and central defense positions. The reliance on tactical discipline, as his system requires extreme tactical discipline. Without the right mentality and understanding, players might struggle to maintain compactness, especially against high-caliber Premier League teams. The intensity and physical demands. The physical demands of the high pressing and counter pressing may lead to fatigue, especially with the intensity of the English Football League. Potential struggles against deep blocks might be something that might feature as well. Amorim's system has faced challenges against teams that sit deep and defend in numbers, as it relies heavily on creating overloads and space that a deep block can mitigate. Right. So what I would say would the impact on United would be, it would improve the defensive organization in one. I think Amorim's philosophy, United will benefit from improved defensive organization by forming a back five when defending. United's defense could limit the spaces often exploited by their opponents in the current setup. An example is in a match when United faced the counter-attacking teams like Brighton, Amorim's structure could help reduce the defensive gaps that such teams exploit. You know what I mean? And the reason why I would say that is I could show you a graph. This is how potentially, forget the names, and I had to rotate it so it could fit in the slide. Thomas Frank is rubbish, Lucky Singh. I'm not having that comment with you, bro. He's not a winner, he's a loser, and he's never won anything. He doesn't even have the attitude of someone who wins. He's always talking about from a defeatist perspective, like maybe, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's focus on this is a 3-4-3 setup that it should be like. Forget the players, but this is how the shape is going to look, and this is how it's going to shift into a 3-2-5 from a 3-4-3 when we're defending. And if you can see Gorkaris, these are his presented runs. He makes diagonal runs out to the left. Edwards covers the space. He also comes across. By the way, guys, Edwards, he can play for Trinidad, so I'm super excited. Maybe he might bring him to United. You know what I mean? Paulinho also covers, as you can see, Humeland. He plays a role that switches with Morita at different intervals as well. And as you can see, there's a back five situation going on here with the defensive midfielders providing the cover in midfield. Now, it's also going to get interesting, guys, when you look at this is how we're going to be building out from the back. You know what I mean? If you look at how the team is positioned, you see all the triangles. You know what I mean? I specifically highlighted all the triangles so you can see it, guys. So these are all the triangle possibilities that could happen when United, if United does, start working in the system that Amorim is bringing to Manchester United. It's going to look something like this when we're playing out the back. As you can see, there are many options. The players are compact, and they will be there providing triangles. So there's always going to be an available player, and this is what is seen. You know what I mean? If you look at this image here, this is against, Benfica when they played, and this is a bit of a more interesting way of maybe where you can see how the team is going to be set up, how it's going to look, and how are they going to take position in. You know what I mean? This is how it looks in sort of a way where they attract all the pressure coming onto the left back role in most cases, sometimes on the right side. And this is how they play out. The players make shifts to draw the midfield closer and attacking players out of position. And then this is how they look prospectively when they're going forward. You know what I mean? This is another defensive situation here where they usher the attack to a specific zone. So they force the attack that is coming to the far side of the pitch where they have players already in place. As you can see, this guy preparing to cover this zone. This guy already covering the half space as well. It's going to be very interesting, guys. And this is one of those situations where I say I would be here to see this, because if he can get these guys drilled to perform these tactics, it's going to be a game changer in the way we defend against situations and teams. Now, this is another look of how the playing out from the back happens. And as you can see, this graph is labeled with the half spaces. You see some of the players that is the right winger prospectively where Ahmad might be playing, or maybe Rashford or Garnacho or Anthony even. This is Quaresma, and I would like to remind you, Quaresma is kind of similar to Anthony in the style that he's an actual winger. He has been converted into a right wing back. And this is why I've been telling man them Anthony might be shifted into a starting right wing back or left wing back role based on his similarities with the type of profiles that you know Ruben Amorim likes in his team. And this is a bit of the passing range. As you can see, there's a highlight showing you how where the pressure is in this red zone. It shows you how the players will be making certain choices depending on who's in position, whether it's Kovacevic or if it's Diamande, his options to Morita, Inacio, Santos, as well as Goncalves. Also, Kovacic, Humlan, Charisma, Trincao, these are the different options. And this is how they draw in the press. As you can see, the red players are the attacking players of the team, of the opposing team. And as you can see here, they are drawing them in. and they're playing it out and through in the half spaces. So that's a little bit of, some of the positives that they will be offering. You can see it here in an actual game where they were playing again against Benfica. And look at St. Just here. Look at where Adnacio is. Look at where the left back is. Look at where Humlin is. Look at the run that he's making to create the space. Look at where the captain is, Cotes and Morita. It's going to be very interesting under Amorim and how he exploits and uses this team and his tactics, because as you can see, it looks pretty good. This is another example of how the midfield shifts in transition into a 5-2 defensive unit, where the back five, with including the wing backs, they get pretty narrow and they start forcing the play to one side of the pitch. And as you can see, the two defensive midfielders there are in a compact position, and they are starting to force as well, as they force this player who's currently on the ball to make a decision either to play it backwards or to play it to the right. It's going to be very interesting, guys. This is another breakdown of the way they uses, Sporting CP uses a high mid block to force oppositions towards the flanks. And that is very interesting, guys, because it's a tactic that I have been using for years and years when I play FIFA. I always try to force the opposing team out of the center of the pitch to a wing, where I feel it's much more easier to manage the threat on my goal when I'm playing. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, guys. You know what I mean? Let's discuss another few positives about him is that the enhanced pressing structure, his high pressing approach with a zonal approach is slightly different from the man to man. So it might be a new scenario, and this would possibly align with players like Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, who excel at pressing in zonal ranges. Now, example, when United plays high possession teams like Man City, Amorim's high press could disrupt their build-up, forcing turnovers in favorable positions. A heat map that could show shifting pressing zones and highlighted areas where Amorim pressing structure would work most effective. And let me bring that up for you guys. Of course, I'm gonna have to run through a few of the slides that. Oh, this is a heat map right here. Luckily for me, this is a heat map, guys. And if you look at the pitch, this is the central zone, where the most high pressing happens. And if anyone knows Man City, they definitely build up through the middle. And look at where the hot zone is, where you see his structure in their best performing zone, 60-60 in these areas here in the middle. Definitely is going to be forcing teams who come through the middle to, come out. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not gonna I don't know how to answer your question about does he drop underperforming players, because every manager has favorites, bro. Ruben Amorim has clear favorites as well, you know. So I don't know how. I know he drops players who underperform, but I don't know his exact ratio on how that works, whether if you underperform for one game, 2 games, or 3 games. What I can say is that he's a little bit more drastic than Ten Hag. Like if he drops you, you're out for 5-6 games. This is what I have seen. I've read about it, and I've read is that some players, if they really perform poorly, they're dropped for 3 to 4 games until the next player gets injured sometimes. So that might be interesting. But what I can tell you, this is why I'm saying to you, my brother Elite, you're not going to be happy. He's a huge Bruno fan. Huge Bruno fan. So I don't think Bruno is going to change the captain role. I'm not too sure about that. I won't say that to make anyone believe anything that's not really true. And I'm not going to tell anyone that Bruno is going to get benched, because I actually don't believe that. You know what I mean? But this is another graph here, and this shows a little bit of the benefit of the press man to man. It shows how we're going to deal with the pressing structure in terms of how they press, if they press man to man. And if you look at it, look at the one on the left. If you look at where it says Benfica press the man, the striker follows the CCB into the midfield. Only player who leaves his direct opponent is the far wide ring back, who stays deep to maintain compactness. And we're talking about this guy here, the right wing back in the corner right here. So if you look at the game, if you look at it from this perspective, guys, it's going to be looking really, really nice if these guys could learn these tactics and execute them well, because we know we've been having a problem with execution. And if you look at this image that I have for you here, guys, this is a game where they played against Versailles, and you can see a bit of the formation here of how they are in control. They're currently in a back three, and the two midfielders are there. The wide ring backs are making their move. And if you can see the man on the far side here next to the linesman, he's already knowing that the ball is getting ready to come to him. So he's preparing himself to make the move forward. And if you look at this graph here, guys, this is a little bit of how they attack and where the main target areas are and how they use in the current setup with the current players that he have. And remember, I stress, guys, this is in the current setup that he has with the players he has available. Now, it should look very similar because I would say Edwards might be pacey, but he's kind of like Bruno, or like Ahmad, a mix between Bruno and Ahmad. You know what I mean? Jenny is more like a Mason Greenwood type player. Nuno Santos is like a Garnacho Rashford type player. Victor Gyökeres is a better Hoyland currently, a ready Hoyland. Hoyland is not ready yet. He's not developed. So it's gonna be interesting, guys. The biggest thing is him getting these tactics into the players and getting them to effectively execute these tactics. Another tactic that they use is when they dribble down the wing, where they link up with the left attacking midfielder and the striker. They're usually linking up a lot on the left, which kind of favors the style of play of Manchester United, guys. We have to be realistic as well. This guy and Ten Hag are very similar. They both use that base 3-1-6. They both have similar disciplinary measures. They both play that high pressing style. Of course, there are going to be subtle differences, and of course, different human beings, different personalities. So this is kind of keeping with in line with the system of what Ineos wants in terms of we're going to progress, keeping in a similar style of play. And it's a different manager, so it should bring a change. It should bring new. You know what I mean? Of course, you're going to get player bounce. You're going to get a new manager bounce as well. And maybe his personality and his flexibility might just be just that different or different enough that it works, guys. I can see a lot of positives here. Of course, we will discuss some of the negatives as well. But if you look at what that attacking positioning there on the pitch, let's talk about it. The wing back utilization. Amorim's tactics would make significant use of wing backs. United current fullbacks like Diego Dallo will be suited to this role, as well as Mazarawi. Even Anthony might be converted into a wing back. You know what I mean? Luke Shaw will not suit this system, guys, because he does not have the fitness. And I know of Ruben Amorim, he's not going to depend on Luke Shaw if he's not going to be available for more than 20 games a season. So, guys who likes Luke Shaw, you can start kissing him goodbye. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's going to favor Rashford that much. It's going to be a difficult situation. Rashford is not the most intelligent winger. I'm not trying to disrespect Rashford or anything, but we can see that he doesn't read the game well. And if you play on the wing for Ruben Amorim, you're going to have to be constantly moving and playing very intelligent football. One of the biggest pros for me is his focus on youth integration, as we have a lot of young talent coming through, the likes of Kobe Mainu, Garnacho, as well as Ahmad, and Harry Amas, young Dan Gore Jr. as well. We got the likes of Ethan Wheatley. We got Chido Obi Martin. We got Shea Lacey. We got lots of talent coming through. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he utilizes them. In conclusion of the positive that I suggest, Amorim's tactics offer several benefits that could help Manchester United improve their structural integrity and maximize the talent in their squad. However, the success of his system will hinge on the players' ability to adapt to new rules, particularly in defense and in the wing-back positions. Their technical and tactical discipline to constantly apply high pressing system. If United's management can back him with the necessary player profiles and allow him the time for his tactical philosophy to take root, Amorim's approach could transform United's identity both defensively and in transition play. Now, guys, here's the big question from your boy Mark N. Are we going to give him time? Are we going to give Ruben the time that he is going to need to change this, to turn it around, to make Man United great again. What are your thoughts in the comments, guys? I know it's been a lot of information there. And I know. Some of you, it may not be your thing. It might be your thing. It may not be enough information for some of you. But we'll talk about more later on as well. But let me know in the comments what you think. Former Matt Mourinho disciple because of an internship, bro. Who cares about an internship, bro? He could have interned for Sir Alex and still be a shit coach, bro. It's happened before. It's not new, my brother. Let's not make it seem like because he was an intern at Manchester United for a few months when Mourinho was head coach, that makes him amazing. Come on. I think he's a great coach. We don't need to start selling extras now, guys. Come on. Rashford and Amada could be in trouble. I mean, some people might think Anthony's in trouble, but I would tell them different because if you look at the type of players that Sporting have and you check their profiles and you look at what United have and who is similar to those guys, better or similar, there you're gonna understand. Big up to Ramek Buji in the building. Big up to everyone as well. Big up to GB as well. Big up to Lucky Singh. Don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe, guys. It really helps the channel grow. Big up to Ray Carl Brown in the building. Danny B, what's good, homie? What's good? You know what I mean? I think Amarim could be a success, but like I was saying with Ten Hag, we gotta be patient. We gotta give Amarim time, and we have to go through the dark times if they are gonna be, because it's not gonna work otherwise, guys. Sure, I hope it starts great and he hits the ground running and the team immediately react to his tactics and it just starts working from the get-go and we never have to worry about it. But guys, if they give him a contract for 2 years or 3 years, please, this one time, I'm begging you all, please, don't be manager out until the structure sacks him. Let's not be the ones to say it. Let's stay away from those things. Let's let the media do that shit and let the structure make their decision. Let's just back the team, back the thing. Because this, at the end of the day, we're Manchester United supporters, right? No manager is bigger than the club. No player is bigger than the club. We back the club. You know what I mean, guys? Big up to you. Manu Tata, the GB, the real true hardcore Red Devil since the 90s. 100%. It's time, new era under this Portuguese godfather, says Will Man United. Story says Gyökeres is a top striker. We could need £100 million. Bro, I don't know. We just spent 30. We spent 17 mil to sack Ten Hag, and we're spending 13 because what I've been hearing, it was 10 million euros, but we had to add a little bit more on the top to pay it off in terms to make the deal good for us. So it looks like we just spent £30 million, which could have been a left back signing in January. Let's see how it goes. I don't know if we'll get Gyökeres, but 100 million, bro, it's gonna be big. He's big aura from him. Miles better now. The players are on massive trial, 100%. Can't wait to see him in the dugouts. I'll be getting tickets for Chelsea. Well, I'm probably gonna stay extra 2 days in London and get tickets for the game against Leicester on the Sunday after we play PAOK. I think I'm doing it. I'm not even hyping it, bro. I think it's going to be a decent appointment. Of course, I think the reason why it will be a little bit better is because he's going to build slightly on a similar setup that we already have. It's a similar style. There's slight differences, but the profiles that we already have could work. He's a different coach. He's a very good coach. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, guys. I'm going to back this guy once he signs. You know what I mean? Yeah, 100% will. Compact is what we need, but we have looked better in the last 3 matches in that sense. Yeah, we could agree there, bro. We could agree there. I actually had the feeling that we are just going to start scoring goals for fun. You know what I mean? And that was my feeling after watching the first half on Sunday. I actually thought it's just a matter of time before we start scoring goals for fun. But the manager got sacked, guys. So you know what it is. You know what I mean? Hopefully he ships them out. If Bruno plays, well, I don't care. Trust me, trust me, Elite. I'm telling you, that's the one thing I worry about for you, my brother, because this guy is a huge Bruno fan. That's the only thing I worry about. You know what I mean? Just got tickets for the next few home games. I'll be watching him Chelsea, then be there tomorrow. Who knows? Might be watching on tomorrow. 100%. You never know, bro. I got tickets for the PROK game. If you're going to the Europa League, we'll be there. I'll buy you a beer, my brother. Pick up to you. You know, we'll see and we'll meet you in the Bishop's Place. That's where we meet up. Manu Tata, big up to you, my brother. My hope is we play double up midfield and we score goals. I hope so too, buddy. You know what I mean? I hope so too. 100%, bro. Man United 99. Alice is my kid sister and she knows all my profiles and always reads my smart comments. Bro, I mean, yeah, cool. Big up to Hayden Pro in the building. Big up to the chat as well as the host, my G. We are all in the building. This is a manager. I wanted to take over. Should Ten Hag be sacked? Christmas has come early, guys. I can't disagree with you there. I actually, if I had to choose, I would have choose Amarim as well. You know what I mean? I don't like Tuchel. Think he's shit. Don't like Thomas Frank. He's never won anything. He gives me an attitude of a loser. He's always second guessing and in doubt about what he says. He can't say anything with chest. Can't be a United manager, bro. And you know what I mean? I just think the best option is him because Xavi is cool, but he doesn't speak English. You know what I mean? Nagelsmann is cool, but he's very, 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 how should I put it? Not weird, because that would make him sound like bad, but he's very particular. And he will do some interesting things that people might not like. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's one of those things, guys. It's one of those things. Time, he hasn't started yet, mate. Well, when he does start, we're still gonna have to give him time, Depeche. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Rome was not built in a day. If we start building battleships, you don't start building the battleship today and it's finished tomorrow. Especially if you're trying to improve the design of this battleship so you can win a war. It's gonna take long. It's gonna take some time. We gotta be patient. I'm not a back three type of guy, but I always support control, possession, and dynamic attack in football. I just after a few losses, then we can change on the coach and start calling him names. Bro, let's not do that, bro. Let's not do it. All right, I have a few minutes. I'll drop the link for those of you who want to come in and have your say, like 10 minutes, guys, because I really have to go. I have to get ready to go to university. I got my classes. So yeah, drop the link there if you guys want to come in. It's there. Alex Adu says all the best to Eric Ten Hag. Had hoped you would have really given him the time to make a change. Really hope. I'm not saying this again in 3 to 4 months about Amorim. 100%, bro. 100%. Smash the likes, guys. 60 of you in here. At least let's get to 50, guys. You know, I haven't seen 50 likes in months. Help your brother out. Smash those likes and subscribe, guys. Come on, let's go. Big up to everyone in the building. You know, if you haven't seen the introduction, guys, I gave a little bit of a brief display with some images and some, graphs about Ruben Amorim and gave a little bit of insight on what his tactics are, how he uses his team, how could it impact United. So you can check the stream out from the beginning. Smash a like, share it around, and big up to all of you that are here. You know what I mean? Give Amorim time. We're gonna have to, guys. Once he comes in, we're gonna have to give him time. And if they sign him to a 3-year deal, at least for the first 18 months, no one should be saying manager out. You know what I mean? No one should be saying it. Big up to you, lead baller. What's good, my brother?
Yo, man, how you? You right?
I'm all right. I'm
Yeah.
all right, bro. You know how it is. I'm a
Excited?
United fan. Huh?
Excited? Are you excited? Cause I am, bro.
I'm mixed. I'm a mixed bag, bro. I'm a bit. I'm excited, but I'm a bit reserved at the same side, the same sense because it could start off really well, or
Mm,
it could start off bad and then get really good. You know what I
mm,
mean? So this is the approach I had to Ten Hag this season. I thought it started off poorly, but I thought it was going to build and get much better. And I'm gonna give Amorim the same energy I gave Ten Hag, bro. I'm gonna back him. I'm gonna give
hmm
him time to see if even if it starts off really bad and it doesn't get great at the end of the season, I'm still gonna back him at least into a full new season because he's a new manager. He's coming into a tough league, a tough situation, and I worry if he has enough good friends in PGMOL because, brother, brother.
Yeah, that
The
penalty
manager
was
is one
scandalous.
thing and the tactics is one thing, but some of the calls we've been receiving, guys, seems like it's a little bit of a stretch to say
Mm.
that it's not bending the rules of football into match fixing. You know what I mean?
Mm. So do you think he's going to play this three at the back then, or do you think he's going to adapt to to the players you got? What do you think he's going to do?
I would, if I was him, I would start playing off with the players that we have right now. And try start coaching them first, playing the 4-2-3, maybe try to get them to assume a 3-4-3 shape during games. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And slowly get them to play the 3-4-3. I don't know if I would start it right away. Next thing
Mm.
I mean, you want to at least stabilize the ship a little bit. We have lost a few games. The manager did leave. Some players will be happy, some players will be sad. So you want to give them comfort, play something kind of cool for like 2 to 3 games, give them, and then coach them into the new style.
Do you think it's the right thing to start him for the Chelsea match, or do you think that's a bit
100%,
too
bro.
big?
Then I
You
know
do, yeah.
at this point, we sacked the manager, bro. And I've been so real. From what I've heard about Ruud van Nistelrooy, I never want to see him manage Manchester United, bro. Never wanted to. I've heard only negative comments from players. I've read only negative comments from the team that he was coaching. No one liked him.
Mm.
Xavi Simons neither. None of them. That was one of the reasons why we didn't get Xavi Simons, because he doesn't want to work with Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Mm.
So,
Well, there you go.
and plus, I mean, he's a legend, and I don't want to mix the situation with legends who play, and if he was to fail as a coach, you know what I mean? I don't like that. I didn't like that with Ollie. I didn't like how if there was a club legend as a footballer, we had to respect it that way. It can't transition over to the fact that he's a coach, a new coach of all that hasn't done really anything, and all of a sudden you gonna take us to the promised land. I don't believe in those things. So I just want us to get a coach that we believe that can do the job. We've seen him do our job, consistently as well. And we already replaced Ten Hag, so we shouldn't get anything less, in my honest opinion.
Do you think he stays as backroom staff, or do you think he leaves?
I think he would change some of the staff.
Yeah.
I think I think he definitely would change some of the stuff. I don't think he would change Rennie Hacker and the set piece coach and thing, but yeah, I don't think he will keep Van Nistelrooy, bro.
We'll have to see, man.
Yeah. Bailey, what you saying, bro? Any thoughts on this?
Um, I'm quite happy, but then I don't know the right emotions to have about this, right? Because it's like you're kind of saying like you're happy about the appointment, but because you know how certain people move in the fan base, it's like we've got a project now, and we're starting over with a new manager, but it's all we've asked for is time to let the manager work out the kinks, get rid of the players that they need to get rid of, and then we can start afresh and then assess it properly from there. Now they keep on saying, "Yeah, he's brought in this player, he's brought in that player." Yeah, bro. At the end of the day, yeah, you still got Luke Shaw there, who's injury prone. We've brought in Mason Mount, who seems to be injury prone. In my opinion, Rasmus is injury prone as well. So
Hmm.
we've got quite a, and then we haven't addressed the issues on the right hand side. Our midfield are the mid the midfield area is pension near enough pension level. These men are near to picking up their pensions. They're near retirement, right? And
Hmm.
obviously the Premier League is like a fast paced league, right? And at the end of the day, it's like that doesn't mean that the work that's been happening on the team, the current construction is far from over. Far from over. And that's what a lot of people have to understand. Now, Eric Ten Hag has made some headway. We've improved in the goalkeeping department, in my opinion. We have a goalkeeper that can play out from the back, technical. I've seen the guy on the ball, yeah. Because I think somebody highlighted to me initially that they was worried about the goalkeeper because they're seen him in other teams in the midfield on the ball, and they're scared that he's going to lose the ball. Since he's been at Man United, nothing like that has happened. He's good under pressure. He's good with players trying to press him. He's good at all of that. And once these players, the opposition, realize they can't press the keeper, then they start sitting off him and they just let him do his thing, which is a good thing. Defensively, we've brought in some good defenders. We still need to actually fix that defensive area because they're going to move on the likes of Harry Maguire. They're going to move on the likes of Johnny Evans. They need to move on the likes of Shaw or maybe Malacia. So there's still improvements there. And obviously, we're switching to a wing-back system. So they have to decide, is Delo good enough to be a wing-back? Or do we need to go and get Jeremy Frimpong for a reasonable fee? So these are the things that the club need to iron out with the new manager. All of that is going to require time. Is he going to come with certain backroom staff? Does he want to get rid of the guys that are already there? These are the things that Ineos need to work out. Is he going to bring? There's going to be players who in his previous club are now on the phone. Please, we want to follow you. We want to follow you. Coach, keep me in mind. Yeah, they're already telling their agents, listen, I want to go to Old Trafford. Yeah, get me the move. So at the end of the day, there's a lot to work out, and we just got to be patient as fans. But believe you me, if we sign Victor Gyökeres, it's gonna be a joke. It's gonna be a joke. I'm not being funny, but another thing that I need to add, yeah, is I went to go and watch how their team plays, yeah. Just like some clips of how they move when they're moving the ball around, their little transitions and whatnot. And to play in his team, you have to be able to think quick. You have to be able to think quick and you have to be able to move quick. And the problem is, we have a lot of players that like to slow the game down and do it at a snail's pace. So this is why the fans need to have some patience because we're a 45 minutes team at the moment. 30 to 45 minutes. And his team looks like they do what they do for the whole 90. So again, we might need to refresh the midfield. We might need to get rid of some of our elder statesmen who might not be able to move at that sort of pace. So yeah, just give the manager time. But this manager, it's almost like he's a hidden gem. His record with the youth, a lot of Man United fans love youth players, right? This club was built on youth players. I think the record of us having a youth player in the match day squad goes all the way back to the World War. Like, our record is better than everybody else's by a country mile. I think the next best club who have always had somebody from the academy in the match day squad is Barcelona, and we're beating them by a country mile. So this is Man United's history. And guess what? We've just signed a manager who promotes youth from the academy, who's got a track record of it. Not only does he promote youth from the academy, but when he's had to sell the likes of Ugarte and Nunes at Man City and some of these other Portuguese players in the Premier League, whenever he's had to sell them, guess where he goes and gets his new players from? The academy. So at the end of the day, we've got a lot to look forward to as far as getting our new kids prepped and ready to start coming into the team. We've got a lot to look forward to, and
100.
and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, but I don't want to be too excited. I want to temper my expectations because sometimes when people gas themselves up too much and then it don't happen, and then they get
Disappointment is
frustrated.
unreal.
Yeah, Dennis manager out, and I don't want us to get. The only way I would be manager out is if they signed Gareth Southgate. I don't care what his philosophy is. Yeah, I would have been out from the contract signing.
Bro.
Yeah,
Bro. There's certain managers I manage out more. Listen. I will be so toxic, eh? But anyway, guys, I real sorry, Fix. I see you and Omo now popping, bro. But I have to close the show now, guys. So, but we're doing the match preview at 8:30 p.m. UK tonight because we face Leicester tomorrow in the Carabao Cup. So, guys, if you all could come back in around that time, I'll drop you links for each and every one of you in your inboxes. Yeah, it would be cool if we could do that stream. And guys in the chat, big up to each and every one of you coming in. You know, smash it, smash those likes, share it around. Don't forget to check out Elite Ballers channel, elite gaming content as well. You know what I mean? Be watching the Elite play football while as we eating lunch half of the times. Big up to Elite for that. Thanks, bro. You know what I mean? Don't watch much TV either. So you're providing a very good, useful half an hour, 45 minutes for me when I sit down eating, bro. I'd be
Big up.
laughing.
Big up, man.
Yo, big up to Eden Pro in the building. Big up to Fix. Big up to Olmo. Olmo, come back later. Fix. Definitely, we'll be in the match preview later on, guys. Big up to GB, Lucky Singh. Big up to Jack Reacher, Matata United. Big up to Willman United as well, bro. See you at the game next week. Big up to you guys for coming in. Big up to Linda Sears. Don't forget to subscribe, Linda. Hope you have a great day. Yes, Luke Shaw has suffered an injury setback, so he's not going to be available in the squad for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Again, big up to LT as well. Big up to what? To Luman. Oh, that's Luman there. Big up to you, Luman. Big up to Nick Fadley as well. Big up to GB. Big up to Ramek day in, day out. Big up to you as well, my brother. Big up to Court Star. Big up to Dipesh as well. Guys, have a great day. We will be back later, 8:30 UK. Set the reminder. Match preview as we take on Leicester City with Rude in charge of Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. Big up to each and every one of you and have a wonderful day. Don't forget to smash the likes for your boy Marken. And big up to each and everyone who come in the panel. Big up to Fix and them. Sorry you guys didn't get to have your say, but we'll have that later in the match preview, guys. Big up.
Baby.